Welcome to future tense. Gelecek zamana hoş geldiniz. To link this from the last video on commands, I just want to say a fun fact. If you want to say thou shalt, for example, thou shalt get baptized. Vaftiz olacaksın. You use the future tense, okay? For example, here, another example. Öldürmeyeceksin. Thou shalt not kill. This is what the Lord actually says in the actual Bible, in the actual Turkish. Öldürmeyeceksin. Okay. So if you want to know how to use future tense in Turkish, let's go over that. Remember the formula. When we're going over this formula, I don't want to show the answer quite yet. Here we go. Remember titremli and titremsiz, which means vibrating and not vibrating. Okay. If you could pause the video and remind me what those letters are that vibrate and what the letters are that don't vibrate. Go through the entire alphabet right now, and when you come back, we'll talk about it a little bit more. All right. So A, titremli. B, titremli. C, titremli. D, titremli. E, titremli. Okay. Ç, titremsiz. T, titremsiz. K, titremsiz. Başka ne var? What else? There's H, titremsiz. Okay. And if you need extra help, again, use your fingers on your throat to feel which ones are vibrating and which ones are not, which ones have a voice and which ones are just a whisper. We have this in English too, by the way. For example, when you say the word to book or to look, or if you want to say he book in the past tense, how do you say it? He booked. You don't say he booked. If you want to say he look in the past tense, you say he looked. You don't say he looked, because ke is titremsiz. It needs a t friend. It needs a titremsiz friend. Same thing in Turkish. Okay, let's just remember that for this. Future tense. Okay, to construct a future word, start with the stem, or fiil. If it has a vowel on it, you need a Y before the ajak or the ejek. And the ajak or the ejek works kind of like lar or ler, mak or mek. It just depends on the two-way vowel harmony. Okay? And then you stick the personal suffix directly onto the jek. But it's important to remember that this is the to be personal suffix. And to remind you what that is, let's pull this up here. Am is are, to be. And we use this with present and future, okay? So for ben, it's im, sen, sin. O, nothing. Biz, yiz, or is. Siz, siniz. Onlar, lar, or ler, okay? Which is slightly different than possessive. This is why we need to memorize the difference between these, okay? Anything possessed uses this. Anything future, present, or am, is, or are uses this right here. Okay? All right, let's go back to where we were. So you're going to use the to be personal suffix. Okay, let's slowly go through how we're going to construct this word. In English, it's 4 words. In Turkish, it's 1. So, what's the verb? Gelmek. All right. Is it going to be ajak or ejek? Let's look at this last vowel here. It's an e. So we already know it's going to be an ejek. All right. And then what's the personal suffix for to be? For I, let's look right here. It's either yim or im. Here we just put im. Oh, something's wrong here. Remember softening. It needs to be titremli. So we change it to Gideceğim because the K is between 2 vowels. You'll get used to that because pretty much any time you say anything in the future for I, you're going to soften that. It becomes titremli. It becomes vibrating in Turkish. If you're talking about I will do something, always. Okay, just to recap, you have Gelecek Geleceğim. All right, I'll let you do this. Try this with the word yüzmek. Pause the video, go back in the video if you need to, but fill in this chart. Ben, I will swim, you will swim, he, she, it will swim, or float, right, if it's a thing. We will swim, you guys will swim, and then onlar will swim. Okay, ready for the answers? Here it is. Alright, yüzmek. Ben yüzeceğim, sen yüzeceksin. Alright, it doesn't harden here because it's not between two vowels. It's consonant, consonant. Alright, here you don't put anything, right? So it's just yüzecek. Alright. We'll get to this later, but you can put tir on there. In this case, it would be just tir or tur, because it would be either jak or jek. But we'll get to that later. Just for now, stick to yüzecek. He, she, or it will swim or float. Okay. These yüzeceğiz, this one does harden. Explain to me why. Because the k is between two vowels. Okay. Siz yüzeceksiniz. It looks just like sen, but just add the is, right? And look again, ben looks kind of like biz, but it's a z instead of a me. All right. Onlar yüzecek, and you can put the ler or the var. All right, this has been Future Tense in Turkish. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. Don't leave the MTC. Keep it up.